absolutely the most important thing. Everybody can learn how to throw shots. Everybody can build muscle memory to throw shots. But if you don't understand how your feet work, and how your feet move you around, you're just going to get killed, even if you can throw good shots. So the first thing we're going to do, actually the first time I heard about this principle was from a guy named Potato, which I don't know if any of you guys know. He's pretty Amtgard famous. So I'm going to need 3 volunteers and bring 1 sword. All right, so I'm going to hold a sword up. I need somebody to hold this sword where I leave it, and then give me your sword. This thing is called the House of Defense. And what it does is it illustrates the 4 basic blocks in Amtgard, where they should be and what they form. Like, you'll see why it's called the House of Defense at the end. So I'm going to hold my sword right here. Now you come over and give me your sword, and take this sword and hold it right there, okay? So this is your first block, right? And it blocks this right there. All right? The second block is you can shift from here to here. This blocks stuff on this outside. Come over here, grab this sword. You can go around the outside if you want. Hold that sword there. Right. Next, you go from this block to this block, which essentially you've now blocked this whole right side of your body. Boom, boom. This block here, which throw a shot over here, over the top like this. That blocks that, right? So, same thing. Hold that sword right where it is. Now, you go from this block to this block to this block. Now you've got essentially 3/4 of your body covered. The only thing left is over here, hip scoop, stuff like that. This block here, right? What is that? It looks like a house. That's why they call it the House of Defense. All right? So, stuff like this, you know, it's very easy when you're fighting to try to block stuff just by swiping the sword out of the way. It's not the way to block something. It's so just throw like a stab. Well, I did it wrong, right? It's very difficult to block stuff. When you're using a sword as a defensive tactic, you can either use an angle, we call them angles, right? So it's using this to perpendicular or nearly perpendicular angles to catch swords. You'd never want to use a sword defense like this. You never want to be using this vertical surface to try to block stuff. And that's what happens when you're doing a lot of swiping at shots. So if people are throwing shots, you want to clearly catch them over here. Right? Okay. Right? A block is almost always going to be perpendicular to the sword that's coming in. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, whose sword is this? And whose sword was this? All right. So what I want you guys to do is pair up, and you're going to throw shots to those quadrants, right? So quadrants is another thing that you guys probably need explained. So there are 4 quadrants in Amtgard. 4 quadrants where shots can go. And his tunic is, well, it's half and half. Maybe they have it, no. All right, so the quadrant 1, or you can number them however you want, I don't care. There's 1 quadrant here, which incorporates this quarter of his body. The second quadrant here, this quarter of his body. Third quadrant here is waist down, here. Fourth quadrant here. So that House of Defense gives you a block for all 4 of your quadrants, right? So what I want you guys to do is pair off and take alternating turns, throwing a shot to this quadrant. He blocks. Then he's going to throw a shot to that quadrant on me. Right. Then so start slow, so everybody kind of can get the feel of what's going on. There you go. And then we're going to do that for a few minutes. I'm going to watch. I'll give you pointers, and we'll do that for a few minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll work on footwork. So you guys don't need to be moving around. You don't need to be taking steps. Just stand still and just block. Get used to, because the blocks to the left half of your body are a little uncomfortable, and you need to get used to feeling that.